Hi guys, good evening. Who is part of my community? Welcome back. Who is not a part of my community? Please do subscribe. Um, well, there is a little light in the end of the tunnel. How it's going to work, I have no idea yet. But over the last several days, the I just said situation here that well, actually, if it plays and if I have a um, judicial possibility to pursue, I can actually prove that Gangstalking does exist, at least in my situation, in my form. I told you a while ago that when my mother died, they did not report her death. And when did not report her death, uh, what ended up being that the Social Security started still kept sending her pension. And finally, I went and said 2 months later, I said, well, 3 months later, actually said, well, guys, what are you doing? She's supposed to be registered as that person, but they kind of didn't take it seriously. They didn't want to talk to me much, but that she just took some stuff, entered the computer, and then I had suddenly the accounts frozen. It's fine because I actually offered to pay right there on the spot whatever I owned to them because my mother's pension was going on my account. And they refused to take it. Not just refused to take it, they refused to take it 3 times or 2 times over several months. So I started dealing with it somewhere in April, and now we end of October, and I'm still dealing with it. So it's 6 months. I've been with it 6 months, and so here's how it worked out. Yeah, actually, it was worked out, but how the situation worked out that now I have to use possible complaint with the Justice Department. Don't forget, the Social Security is a federal organization. It's not an organization that is like state or something. So even though people from specific states work at their offices, so this is the deal. When they froze my account, they took whatever I had there. This is what the bank said. It was Wells Fargo. And then one day I wake up in the beginning of May and I have one of my accounts that was checking out of overdraw and almost $6,000, which is exactly without $1,000. It's about um, 3 months that I owned Social Security then. And so I went to the bank and said, "This is the deal. You are taking the money from kind of open account for Social Security and taking overdrafting my account, and then we're gonna deal together with you, right?" They said, "Yeah." So from this moment on, you don't have to worry about dealing with Social Security. You have to deal with us, with the bank. So what is good when you deal with the bank is because it's not a federal organization. When you have a federal organization, the specific rules apply, and you can have a problematic stuff with them. But the moment the bank took over and deposited the money they had, which I didn't have, but they simply created line of credit. So, and it's the same bank that holds my mortgage, and so it shouldn't be any problem because with a refinance, they would have they would have simply add those money to the balance, and then whatever happens. But 6 months passed, and the problem issue with Social Security is that they refuse to change address. So address in Salt Lake City is doesn't exist anymore. It's not existent. Doesn't exist anymore, and I have a problem receiving letters notification. I gave them my PO box here in Atlanta and living address in Atlanta, And remember the same address, the PO box I gave to you guys that I wanted to for you to send me a postcard, but nobody did. Well, kind of a disappointment, but not much can do with it. But anyway, so and after 6 months and several times going to Social Security to deal with, I received one situation, receive letters that saying that you owe the bank and you bank sends me. Then the second letter is still owe, so I owe double. So I was wondering where should I pay first, and in order to avoid freezing of accounts, I just move the money to different bank that I have. Unfortunately, some of those banks had some payments on scheduled, so which is periodically sometimes takes stuff of my account. But anyway, but this is what when you deal with the bank says you don't worry. This is what they told me. You don't worry. And dealing already with the Social Security, you deal with us. So this is actually great because, as I said, when you deal with bank with the credit line, this is absolutely different story that you deal with. Uh, Government money, and you have uh, there you have to still go and explain things, but when you deal with bank you don't have to explain. It's flexible, open flexible line of credit. And when you have a mortgage there like I do, they would have a refinancing of the mortgage would send me. But no, in the most important time when I have to deal with this, suddenly the bank resented and say no, we didn't pay anything. We didn't do anything. And now you have to deal again, go back to Social Security. But this is 6 months after, and several times I went there when they refused to take the money. So what I do now, uh, I ended up with the situation that I have to go figure out the payment plan with Social Security. The hell knows how much it's going to be. But the worst part, it puts you in a situation that you're some kind of a uh, not just not clean. I'm talking about not honest person. Because, as I said, dealing with Social Security or dealing with the bank, this is two different stories. Because some people, there were some people in Tennessee here, for not in Atlanta, but in Tennessee, one state up north. For instance, there was one gentleman that was stealing his mother's Social Security for about 20 years, like since 1995. And of course, it's a fraud. So when you have a death in the family and stuff not reported, fortunately, as I said, I went and reported it as soon as I realized that they have an error and problems, but they refused to take the money. And um, what now I have to do, as I said, figure out the payment plan. I'm not asking for money, even though I have my legal fund, but I have a possibility to de facto maybe take them to under investigation to the local federal prosecutor's office. Why? Because, as I said, the Social Security and the bank supposedly agree on what things without asking me. And they gave me wrong information. And then the bank supposedly fixed everything. And then I was to do, well, I have to do is I was supposed to deal with the bank. And suddenly, when the bank resented, they threw me back 6 months, and not just threw me back 6 months, they threw me back in a very bad situation. As I said, now I have to go and explain to investigators what happens. I have to deal with the scrapple all over. So it can be bad because I don't know what the reaction can be. And uh, but if I again hire a lawyer and I simply prove that there is some kind of a conspiracy of garbage to make me look bad, to make me look like a financial kind of a not really um, um, honest person, and it kind of ruins me because Next year, I have to start getting my social security, receiving my social security, and if I have a problem now resolving social security, there can be a problem receiving social security for months. I talked to a woman online. She had the same situation from a bank, from Wells Fargo, and the same situation after dead relatives. It took for her to fix stuff was 2 years. One of you guys wrote in comments once that um, when you are a targeted individual, you have a problem receiving social security. They will simply do everything possible for you not to. The fact it's a looks like within the power levels, they consider this to be free money. But it's not free money. I work for all life for this money. I work 40 years for this money. I live in the United States almost 40 years, and I work right there. I didn't have anything as a start. And when time comes for them to pay it up and receive monthly payments, suddenly, few months before that, I started developing problems with Social Security. As I said, this is part of perpetual impoverishment and it tricks against targeted individual. Anyway, my life is never dull. You know what I mean? Something always happens and I have to deal with things. And maybe later I will have in a few minutes, maybe I have to take a break. I want to drink a glass of milk. And when I'm done, I will do another one maybe about bots. You know, bots people who, when you align, they try to screw you over, the right garbage. And I had a situation in Russian Atlanta, Russian-speaking Atlanta, Facebook. There's people from Atlanta, and I wanted to pick up a specific topic, and I had to deal with both specific one that brought garbage again. So I will talk about those people. Actually, there are a lot. Then special if they specialize in how you call it specific thing like a financial, political, historical. Looks like every bot who go online and try to make you look bad has a specialty. Anyway, hi guys, again one more time, and thank you for listening. I'm signing off, and I will be returning shortly.